I've had enough of them gloating in the streets like that. It's like they've forgotten what respect means after all that rioting.
No surprise, though, really. I mean, when a dog bares its teeth, you give it a good kick so it knows not to do it again. If you allow the behavior, then it thinks it's strong.
Aye. I don't know what that new lord thinks he's doing, but...
Puffed up lordling will be the death of River Spring.
My Lord Sarwick.
You are no stranger to me. Remind me of your name.
Victor. Victor the ferryman, my lord. You came to River Spring on my boat, do you remember?
Yes. What can I do for you?
My lord, I cannot thank you enough for saving my life during the rioting.
Don't thank me. Thank R'hllor. I am only an instrument of his divine plan.
Well, your god seems to have helped the entire town. Did you know that people are returning to town and that trade is slowly resuming?
Is that right?
Only yesterday I ferried in a group of woodsmen and some weavers who'd left for Castlewood several moons ago.
Castlewood, you say? Can you take me there?
From here? It's downstream, couldn't be easier. Just drop the boat in the water and it floats down there by itself.
If that's the case, I will probably need your help soon.
Of course. I owe you at least that. You can find me in the port when you're ready to leave.
Yourself.
So, you were able to go back to your master?
Yes, my lord.
I hope you'll work for him. River Spring needs every able man in order to return to its former splendor.
Yes. Yes, my lord.
Very well. Keep up the good work.
Wait.
What is it?
Yeah. For you.
I thank you.
Hey, pighead. Don't you care to thank the man that saved you?
On them? Believe me.
I freed you when passing judgment during the rioting. If I remember correctly, a guard had raped your sister.
Indeed, me lord. But she'd been a lot better since. She's speaking again, and I've even seen a smile or two.
Glad to hear it.
That's all thanks to you, me lord.
They bent.
river!
Aye, especially one who cares about.
I'm not one for...
Sad, really.
Fire. We'll serve River Springs what?
I recognize you. You are one of those who attacked our men during the rioting.
No, my lord. We've joined your watch. We ran a little while during the rioting, but no more. We'll fight to the death for River Spring.
Joy to hear it. Keep doing as you are.
Master Alistair, do you recognize?
Should I?
You opened my eyes when we met on the... I was about to jump in the water after losing both my sons to the rioting, but your words guided me towards the Lord's light. That gave me fresh will to live.
You'll see that it will do a lot more than that. It brings me great joy to know that I helped restore your lost hope.
I would like to repay you. I've had a few things brought over from beyond the narrow sea for Master Daniel. Sure, there's something of interest.
Very well. I'll have a look.
Master Alistair, my dear friend, here you are at last.
Master Denyo? I didn't think to see you here so soon.
Your idea seemed to delight Betharios. I was soon able to leave our temple on Bravos, a small group of followers.
The prospect of bringing the Lord's light to the lands of my birth fills me with as much joy as it does him. Life at the temple in Bravos seems long ago now. I still look back with fondness at all those good times.
I often think back to the day we were visited by Master Mokoro of Volantis.
I shall carry the scars of his visit on my right arm for life. But certainly I would do it all again without hesitation if I had the choice.
That day, you came closer to the Lord of Light than most of us have ever been.
Do you know where to start? Knowing you as I do, you would certainly have a plan, Denny.
You are right, Master. I have an idea about how to convert the people down to our religion. We shall not upset or dissuade them by burning symbols of their idols just yet. For the moment, I will make do with putting up pyres every evening. They tend to win over the small folk by showing them the power of fire.
It was during such a sight that I myself discovered my path in life. Your mission here is very difficult. The people will not easily turn away from the faith of the Seven.
After many fruitless attempts to bring faith in Relor to these lands, I think we are aware of that.
That's not all. This town has suffered for a long time and its people are fragile. They're as vulnerable as they are dangerous.
Never fear. I've worked in far worse conditions before. My mission in these parts will be a glorious success.
Very well, Master Denyo. I hope everything will go well.
I think it shall, but I have not been deaf to your counsel.
I must leave you now, Master Denyo. There is still much for me to do before this town is put to rights.
May you walk in the light of the Lord.
Alistair, it is a joy to see you again. You have news of Gawain?
Ilyana, I warned you not to trust Valar.
What do you mean? What does he have to do with Gawain?
Our little brother is dead. Killed on Valar's orders.
7 gods, it can't be!
I saw Gawain's body, Ilyana.
But why would Valar kill him?
I only see one explanation. Riverspring. His lust for power was strong enough that he would kill the only man standing between him and the throne.
This is absurd. Gawain wasn't a threat. Father had personally disinherited him.
Valar is not one to take any risks.
No. Tell me it's not true. That man is a monster. What am I to do? I cannot marry that murderer. I could not endure it.
I know, little. Your marriage must be stopped at all costs.
But the Queen, she would never change her decision. She will force me to marry him.
All is not lost. I haven't played all my cards yet.
Please, Alistair, help me.
You know our words, Ilyana. Family is hope. Protect it, always. But in order for me to succeed, I need your help. Father hid some documents here that could help me in the fight against Valar. Do you know where he might have hidden the documents?
I am sorry, Alistair, but Father was very secretive. He never confided anything to me. You need to speak with Maester Harwin. If anyone were to know, it would be he. I have no need for this. I have enough troubles as it is.
I can't sit on my father's throne yet. Our land is still in mourning.
Alistair, how was your journey to King's Landing?
The situation there is worse than I imagined. It will prove difficult to stop Valar from claiming the title to Riverspring. And Gawain is dead.
Gods be good. This is upsetting news, Alistair. What happened?
The Gold Cloaks found him dead amidst the victims of some bloody business.
Poor Gawain.
And the worst is, Valar is responsible for all these killings.
Valar? Can you prove it?
Yes, I retrieved the written order to kill them, signed in his own hand. But I must obtain more proof before I can openly accuse Valar. Otherwise I risk facing the Queen's wrath.
Valar cannot get away with such a crime.
One thing at a time, Harwin. I haven't finished with him yet. I have a new ally, Lord Arwood Harden of Castlewood. It was he who helped me trace Gawain.
Lord Halton? I see. He was a great friend of your father's. Did you meet him in King's Landing?
Yes, Gawain was trying to reach him before he disappeared. Lord Halton approached me after a meeting with the Queen and told me what he knew. While looking for my brother, I learned things that could change our land's fate, perhaps more. Father was already onto it. He wrote all this down and hid the documents somewhere in River Spring. I must find them.
Hidden documents? If I'm not mistaken, you're not the only one who has sought them.
How so?
Some weeks ago. Actually, it was the day your father died. Some of Lord Raynald's bannermen and friends were in River Spring.
Lord Garth, no need to take offense over such trifling matters. Squabbles between houses are commonplace. Believe me, with patience, things will work out by themselves. By the grace of the gods, learn to relish a king's meal when you can. I have enough problems with my son Gawain. I don't know if I should find anger or joy in his absence at the table.
My lord, come quickly.
What is it now?
Someone has forced his way into your office.
What? Entry is strictly forbidden. I hope that you have put the wretch behind bars.
Well, the man in your office is none other than your son Gawain, my lord.
Gawain? That wretch. I've had enough. That ingrate never ceases to dishonor, disappoint, and disobey me. He's gone too far. I won't tolerate any more of it. Never again.
Come now, my lord. He is your son.
Gawain means nothing to me, Harwin. I only had one son, and he's lost. And look at all the trouble he has given me. I should have taken care of this a long time ago. I call on all present to be my witnesses. On this day, I, Lord Raynald Sarwick, do disinherit my son Gawain and deprive him of all rights and privileges formerly bequeathed to him. Now I must chase him from my chambers. This latest outrage will be his last. I must take my leave now. Come with me, Harwin.
Raynald, my friend, I know we have our differences, but today I share your pain. I am saddened to hear what Gawain has done. But despite my affection for him, I must admit that you are right. If he were to become lord of your house, he would cause its downfall.
Not only mine, Arwood. The same fate would befall all of the lands that depend on River Spring. When the rot sets in, it remains only to cut it out. It's as simple as that.
Are you certain you made the right decision, my lord?
I made the only decision that my good-for-naught son made possible. By the gods, I swear even his sister would be the better one to succeed me. Let's get...
Father!
Gawain, this door was locked, but that didn't stop you from going through my things, did it?
Father, I know about the Brotherhood. I only want to help you.
Seven hells, who asked you to interfere? What's at stake here is too important for you to become involved. This is enough. I stopped believing that you could replace Alistair a long time ago. This ends now. I'm disinheriting you.
No! I don't know who's been putting these ideas into your head. I beg of you, Father!
Silence! If anyone has put anything in my head, it would be you. You and your inability to listen. You and your disrespect. You have brought enough trouble on this house. If you have an ounce of respect left for the Sarwick name, you will not make another scene.
Father! Listen to me!
Enough! Leave me now. I would not see you again.
Your father chased your brother from the room without any further ado, and wouldn't hear so much as an explanation from him.
And then? You were saying it happened the day my father died.
Your father went to sleep right after the incident. The poison was already in his veins by then. He never saw the sunrise.
I see. Has anyone been in this room since?
No. I locked the door after the incident so that no one could enter it. You might also be faced with many locked doors during your investigation. Take my keys. They should all be there.
Do you think Gawain was looking for the same documents that I am?
I only know that when you spoke of these hidden documents, I immediately remembered the incident. If your father was concealing any documents, they would be in this room.
I've never seen his office in such a state. Even the shield he was so proud of no longer hangs on the wall.
Your sister was sell the shield after the rioting. We needed the coin after giving the castle's supplies to the villagers, as you had ordered.
Thank you, Harwin. You may take your leave now. I can handle this alone.
Very well, my lord.
There's nothing here. No trace of Father's documents. They must be here somewhere. No trace of Father's documents. They must be here somewhere. There's nothing here. Incredible. A secret door. Is everything well, Ryman?
I've just taken in a killer who's been spilling blood all over town. I've never seen anyone fight so well. He slit a guard's throat before I had a chance to unsheath my sword.
Let us be thankful that he's in the dungeons now. What about you, Ravella? How are you?
Very well, my lord. How can we be of service?
I need to get to my father's documents, but they're locked away somewhere. I am confident that this paper holds the key to getting to them. A riddle, a poem that my father wrote. I'm trying to find some of his documents.
That would be quite typical of Reynold. He was quite taken with riddles.
This one seems to refer to our family. This one talks about you too, Ravella. Is the throne in the castle the same one my parents married in front of?
Yes, indeed. Nonetheless, I cannot imagine where Lord Reynold could have concealed anything. If he managed to conceal something, only a keen eye would spot it.
I see. And this line, the warrior, must be referring to you, Ryman.
For what I know or care, it may be referring to me or to anyone wearing a suit of armor. I have no time to play at this. Please excuse me.
What can I do for you, Alistair?
I found a secret passageway in my father's office. I haven't been able to open it yet, but I found this. I think this has something to do with it, but I don't understand how yet.
Yes, they look like clues. They seem to represent different parts of the castle. However, I doubt that he ran to different corners of the castle each time he needed to look at a specific document. Whatever you are looking for, it seems to be only a secondary solution for times of danger.
I see. There must be an easier way to open this door.
That would seem likely. However, he may have taken the secret to his grave. This poem may be the only way for you to find what you're looking for.
Then I know what I must do. Thank you.
No, he set off. No, he set off for River Spring, and 2 weeks have passed with no news. I understand our distress.
It grieves me too, Sir Edwin, but what would you have me do?
It grieves you. Our father, Lord Roxton, is missing, and you say it grieves you?
From what I know, your father would never go riding without a strong escort. I cannot see what could have happened to him.
Indeed. Know that he left the Reach alone and with haste. You are just as familiar with his quick temper as we are.
We could send scouts to search for him in the mountains, if that would reassure you.
Enough! You know very well where he is. So it wasn't enough for you to betray us the once, whore?
How dare you? You've gone too far. Guards, take our guests to their chambers.
This isn't over, Eliana. This isn't over. Leave me.
What's going on?
Nothing of consequence. Just a difference of opinion. I don't need your help with everything.
Eliana?
Don't worry about me. I'm capable of handling this on my own.
I'm sorry to trouble you like this, but I think you ought to concern yourself with this matter.
What are you talking about?
You heard the discussion between Lady Eliana and the other two, didn't you?
I vaguely remember overhearing some people asking for news of their father. Why would that concern me?
I'm afraid that it concerns the whole of River Spring, my lord. The two young ones talking to your sister were looking for their father, Lord Quen Roxton. He happens to be locked away in our dungeons at the moment.
What? You have taken a lord prisoner?
Yes, on orders from your sister, my lord. And I'm afraid that it might all get out of hand. The Roxtons are a powerful family. They could do great harm to our lands if they so desired. Unfortunately, that's all I know. You'd better talk to your sister, or with the younger Roxtons. Perhaps you could even go and see their father in his cell.
I will see what I can do. Thank you, Great. This is where my father... What's this? I recognize this. My father wore it at all times. I always thought its 7 branches symbolized the 7. Now that I think about it, it could very well be some sort of key that opens the door I found. Well, I am doing this for the sake of the family. What was I thinking? I probably shouldn't have done that.
Ah, Sir Alistair. May I call you that? What good fortune it is that you should be standing before. Set me free, and I give you my word that you won't regret it. I cannot share all the details at the very moment.
Ah, my lord, listen. That the axe was mine, but I didn't do anything.
Mr. Sarwick, have you returned to Westeros?
Who are you? I did not see you during the rioting. Eliana, we need to talk.
I don't have time, Alistair. I have urgent matters to attend.
I know all about it, Eliana. I'm here to help. Lord cannot stay in our dungeon.
How did you find out?
That's of no consequence. What matters is avoiding a bloodbath. Lord Roxton belongs to a powerful house. It becomes serious. How did this happen?
Lord Roxton came with a handful of armed men and started attacking our people. Ryman and his men managed to overpower them and put them in the dungeons.
Why would he attack Riverspring?
About 2 years ago, when River Spring was already struggling with debt, Father asked for his help. Lord Roxton had more gold dragons in his coffers than he did subjects on his estate. We hoped he would lend us some of his fortunes so the people wouldn't go hungry. We would then have time to find a more permanent solution. Father asked for his help, but the swine demanded my hand in marriage in exchange. I was left with no choice but to accept.
Let me guess. There was an incident. Stop the wedding.
Well, he did pay us the purse as promised, but shortly after he learned that I was courting someone else. Tristan, a good man, but a peasant. He lived just behind the forge. I can assure you that nothing dishonourable happened between us. But when Quen Roxton saw me in his company, he found it hard to take.
How did he react?
He called off the wedding and asked us to pay back the money. But we had already spent it feeding the people. So he went back home and dwelled upon it for many years. When word of Father's death reached him, he came here with his men and started taking possessions from our townsfolk.
I see. So you locked him in the dungeon. I will deal with it. Leave it to me.
Be careful, Alistair. Some of Lord Roxton's men are still around the town and they are real brutes.
Fear not. I will come and see you again when I know more. Well, I should go and see the younger Roxton.
Yes? What do you want?
We should talk.
So, first the adulterer, now the Red Priest.
I am Alistair Sarwick, and these are my lands. Therefore, your problem is a concern to me.
Ah. Forgive our ignorance, we were not aware.
No matter.
I was told there were last of your a wildling, perhaps? Or something worse?
Calm yourself, Meredith. Give my sister, sir. The patient is rather a burden for her. She takes after her father.
I am not sure I fully understand why you are here.
Oh, don't play the us.
As we explained to your sister, our father, Lord Quen Roxton, dead. When he left our castle, he went to River Spring. Had a few disputes to settle.
Disputes?
Yes. Disputes is a weak.
You're the one who was head when. Tell him how it is. Darwicks have well and us.
Cheated you? How so?
Your sister was betrothed to our father a few years ago. Her hand was offered in exchange for our gold, bolster the coffers of your dying lands.
And what happened?
Your sister turned out to be a harlot. That's what happened. Father found his betrothed in bed with a peasant.
That is what our father told us when he came back from River Spring. Furious and wanted revenge.
After the disgrace caused by your sister, the wedding was immediately called off, but the gold we gave you as dowry never repaid. Following Lord Reynolds, our father decided it was time to go in person, collect what was owed to us. Without a trace, your sister isn't for. Honored our agreement. Demand that our gold be repaid.
So that is what you're interested in. Coin.
Our father, of course.
Be quiet, Emma. For all we know, father might very well have fallen from horse on his. But it does not change the fact that you still owe us the gold. That clear?
I see. There are a hell of a lot of differences between Eliana's version of events and that of the Roxtons. If little sister had the right of it, and there really was no adultery, then the Roxtons stopped the wedding without good reason. In that case, we are not duty-bound to pay them back. However, if Eliana was actually mistaken, I need to know what's going on. Have to find Kristen. Eliana said that he lived behind the town's forge.
far in this fire. We'll serve.
Would you like an escort, my lord?
Yes, follow me. I do not really know what to expect from the Roxton.
God's will.
Move along, stranger. We're here on orders from Lord Roxton. Those orders include dealing with troublemakers harshly.
I am the only one who gives orders around here. I am Alistair Sarwick. Let me through, or I will order my guards to arrest you. You'll be sacrificed to the holy flame to pay for your insult.
Let him through.
Open the door, Kristen.
Who are you? What do you want from me?
I am Alistair Sarwick, your lord. Get out here or I'll break this door down.
Alistair? Brother of my sweet Eliana?
The very same.
Very well, I'm coming out.
Kill the beggar. Try not to hurt Lord Sarwick.
Nice and death. Those soldiers weren't going to stop until they had your head.
Saved my life, my lord. I don't know how to thank you.
Just explain to me what happened between you and Eliana.
Between me and... Oh, my lord. We have fallen in love. That's what has happened.
How did you meet? I need all the details.
It happened a long time ago. Your sister came to see me whilst she was going for a walk in town. She chose me, as it were. You'd say love led her to me. It would seem she could not ignore my considerable charm. It's as simple as that.
So, what did you do that made those men so driven to kill you?
Some time after we met, Eliana came to see me. I played the lute for her. Then that lout Quen Roxton stormed into my home like a boar in heat.
Played the lute? They are saying that you lay with her on that day, in spite of her betrothal to Lord Roxton.
Lay with her? Gods be good if only that were true. With respect, my lord, I only glimpsed enough of your sister's flesh to set my heart afire. I thought, I hoped that it might happen. But that brute Quen Roxton was yelling so much that I didn't have the chance. Lady Eliana had no choice but to return to the castle with him and try to calm him down. She told me she would come back as soon as possible. But it would seem she has been unable to do so.
I see. Well, Lord Roxton is not going to calm down anytime soon. Must come to the castle. If we wish to settle the matter, there is no other choice. I need you in order to prove my sister's innocence.
Ah, very well. If Lady Eliana needs me, then I will be there for her.
Let's go then. However, I believe Lord Roxton intends to make things difficult for you. He must have given orders for his men to kill you, should the opportunity arise. He has posted men at different entrances to the castle to block our way.
The main gate looks like less of a risk to me. The gate overlooking the docks seems more suited to an ambush.
Let's take the bridge. The most important thing is that you reach the castle alive. Let's go. Be on your guard if you wish to stay alive. They will target you.
I shall, my lord. For Eliana. As I was saying, thank you for... helping me. I did not really know what to do.
It is not over yet. Do you truly love her?
That swine Roxton has come and...
chilly from his.
There is Harwick came back from his head filled with nonsense.
For River Spring. Victory, my Lord Alistair! Victory! For River Spring! Well done, my Lord Alistair. We're almost done.
This Alistair could be such a. Now beggars think they have power at everyone.
Things watch as best we can.
I managed to find Kristen. Roxton's men tried to kill him. I was able to get him safely to the castle.
Well, I suppose that's good news.
Kristen told me that you had made advances to him, yet you do not seem very happy he is still alive.
Alistair, I'm sorry, but I did not tell you the whole truth. The poor boy, he was the only means I found to avoid getting married. I arranged it so that Lord Roxton would find us together and see enough to assume the worst. I never imagined things would end up like this. The situation has spiraled out of my control.
So, you used poor Kristen as an unwitting pawn in this game of politics. Well, what is done is done. We now need to settle the matter once and for all. Lady Meredith, Lord Edwin, you might be somewhat surprised by what you are about to see.
Really? Have you decided to pay back the gold you owe us?
Not exactly. Guards, bring in the prisoner.
Light, at last! Praise the Seven!
Father!
Alistair, what is the meaning of this?
Your father was in our dungeon, locked up after he and his armed men entered the town with aggressive intent and without my permission. We preferred to keep secrets, had time to settle the matter from our side.
What do you mean?
I have brought Kristen, whom you accuse of committing adultery with my sister.
That son of a bitch! You locked me away in your dungeons, and now this? This is one insult too many. The little roach must die, here and now.
As far as I know, there is no proof of the adultery. Admit it, you did not even see anything worthy of your accusations.
How dare you? Your slut of a sister was half naked on that runt's bed. You take me for a fool?
Calm yourself, father.
He's a poxy little gutter rat. I demand compensation in blood.
You have gone beyond the limits of courtesy, Lord Roxton. I demand a trial by combat.
Very well. Edwin will fight in my name.
May the seven guide your hand.
Fight! Enough. You have won, sir.
I expect you to honor the result of the duel, Lord.
It's ridiculous. Get away with this so easily.
The gods have spoken, Meredith. You dare cast doubt on their judgment.
Duel was only a matter of honor. That is not enough to repay your debt.
No, this will suffice. Lord Roxton's behavior might be considered an act of war. That is a crime punishable by death. If you want to complain about my sister's supposed adultery to our liege lord's House Lannister, please be my guest. Given the number of witnesses I have on my side, I will give it long before your heads sit atop spikes.
You thieving swine.
That's enough, Meredith. He has the right of it. You are truly your father's son, Sir Alistair, and just as despicable.
This is too much.
Don't expect me to make the same mistakes next time.
Nicely put, Alistair. An act of war punishable by death, eh? That took some thinking.
I had to try something. Tell the truth, I have no idea if I spoke the truth or not. Looks like they know no more of it than I. Go home, Kristen. Thank your gods that you are still alive.
I certainly will. At last we are free to express our love for each other, Eliana.
I'm sorry, Kristen, but that will not happen. I do not feel the same way.
What? But what do you mean, my sweet?
My advances towards you were not genuine. I only made them to make Lord Roxton call off the wedding. I'm sorry. I didn't think it would go this far. But now that this business is over, you must forget about me.
What?
I never loved you, Kristen. Leave, I beg you. Never come back.